Hi guys, it's me, just listening again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the holiday season in December of 2025, I shall be talking about a movie in a franchise which I would consider to be a guilty pleasure of mine. And a guilty pleasure is something that you know is bad for you, but you still enjoy it a lot. Like macaroni and cheese. Like, you know that the stuff that's gonna be bad for you, especially for your heart. But you still enjoy it anyway because you enjoy the creamy goodness of the mac and cheese. So in this case, this movie happens to be in the Madea franchise. Which, yeah, let me just say, I admit some of the things are wrong in the movie, but I just enjoy it so much. I find myself laughing at inappropriate times. At times I meant to be funny, and other times I just blocked it out, blocked out some of the noise. But for the most part, I enjoyed the Madea movies. I will admit that. In the first Madea movie that I ever saw, I Can Still Do Bad by Myself, I actually saw it on my second date with somebody that was the first date with them. So it was actually a pretty good movie. But anyway, this one is a Madea Christmas, obviously for the holiday season. Now, before I get into the actual movie itself, let me talk a little bit about the Madea character. Okay? Now, I know that Tyler Perry is like this big serious guy nowadays, this big actor and stuff. And I know that his Madea character was his idea, his main vehicle into stardom. And like I admit, I find Madea to be hilarious. I grew up on movies like Mrs. Sapphire, Tootsie, which I saw later on in life, Big Mama's House. So I'm used to the young man in a fat suit that like an old lady. I have no idea why they always picked old ladies to portray themselves as, but it's still pretty funny. I don't think it's the same thing as being a transvestite. You know, where you just wear the clothes of the opposite sex, or the stereotypical clothes of the opposite sex. But yeah, I think of it as more philosophy than anything else. And yeah, it's the only movie. It's not really as serious or anything like that. That and the fact that you could swear that Madea looks like the grandmother from the Proud Family, which also reminds me of the grandmother from that is portrayed the Slick Rick song children's story. Yeah. Children's story. It also reminds me of somebody that I swear to God was in the movie Baby's Kids. That also might have been just like a fake memory or something, but it reminded me of somebody that would be in the movie. I haven't seen the actual cartoon version of Madea, but yeah, be something down. But I don't know if the character name of Madea was actually based on the mythological character named Madea. So yeah, take for that what you will. Now, I should say that the actor of Tyler Perry looks awful lot like my cousin-in-law. So I have a feeling that if he were to dress up like Madea for a Halloween get-up or costume or whatever with his wife, my cousin, I'm sure that he would be a very good spitting image of Madea, to the height, the voice, even the glasses he wears. So I think he would be good Madea stand-in. Now, whether she likes it or not, he says like woman is a completely different story. But I remember that one Halloween, he did a Halloween thing where they dressed him up like the logo and the raincoat on the Morton's salt container. So I'm sure you could find what dressing like an old lady. In any case, this movie is special because it tackles two issues that I find in society today that most people won't gather because of all the silliness and goofiness and jokes and wisecracks of the main character, Madea. Now, when I was watching this movie on Netflix, I saw that there was no actual Tyler Perry cameo in this movie. I know that in most of the Madea movies, they have the character of Tyler Perry playing himself for the most part, like a straight man. So that's really funny, seeing all these radical, crazy characters like that, like a Southern mammy, if you will, in the old days of the Civil War times, and died like a buffoon, pretty much. And he also did something like in Night Professor, where he played like a bunch of other characters within the family unit of Medea's extended family, like I think her husband, ex-husband, her brother, just the whole crazy gag of characters based on Madea. They look exactly like her in every way, shape, or form, for better or worse. So anyway, there's none of the extended family in this movie, by the way. Unfortunately, whatever you prefer, you can only take a certain amount of that family before you puke. So anyway, she's trying out for she's gonna help her job because God forbid we ever have a black Santa, or even worse, if we have a black Santa Claus that's a female. Which really, I have no problem with having a black Santa. I have no problem with having an Asian Santa. I have no problem with having a guy that eat too much colloidal silver and in blue be the Santa. He would have been an awesome Santa Claus. Unfortunately, he passed away a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago. Unfortunately. So, yeah. And it's so funny that I've never worked in the service industry before like that, worked in a store like that, in a big department store in a mall. But I'm pretty sure that you don't want to insult or accost the customers, especially when you got a woman that's looking for lingerie for herself. That's probably not a good thing to do, even if you are a woman yourself, and quite a big woman too, because Madea looked like she could easily past the football player. But in any case, that's not a good idea to tell women that you're too fat or you're too old for lingerie and this and that. You know, it may not be your cup of tea, but her husband or her boyfriend or whatever doesn't see any problem with her trying on lingerie for herself. Anyway, she's doing a good job because to ornery around customers could call my opinion. So one joke that I think kind of cracks me up as part of my dark humor testing is that she said that there was this woman that had cancer and then she got hit by a bus. And then another woman with cancer got hit by a bus, got drowned, something like that. For some reason, I find it really funny. It's tragic, but it's funny nonetheless. I think that the reason why it's so tragic is probably because I know someone that was very near to me, my mother, that died of cancer, and the idea of getting hit by a bus or drowning or putting that person out of misery rather than having a long, drawn out, year-long fight over cancer that you would lose anyway, kind of makes me chuckle a little bit. I'm sorry, Mom, but I have to say that. So anyway, then Madea worked in a school as a substitute teacher, and the possibilities for that are endless joy and pleasantness, isn't it? Because kids are bored, the teacher has to go to some kind of meeting to do with a pageant or something, and yeah, only good things can come out of it, right? Got only a woman there that's set in her ways, dealing with a bunch of kids in classroom. Now, this also hits on my other issue, one of the issues that's tackled in the movie that I think is important. Now, first of all, as a teacher myself, I spot a few bad things in the movie that you can't do as a teacher, as a certified teacher, not even as a substitute, but a regular paid certified teacher. You can't say that something like that. Oh, you dummy, or oh, you stupid head, or whatever. You can't say bad things to the kids about it. You can only say like good things like oh, nice try, Johnny. But that's the wrong answer, unfortunately. Or sorry, Sarah. That's Timmy got the right answer, or something like that. You can't say like, oh, you're stupid, or you're dumb, or you're picky, or whatever the case is. You can't do that as a teacher. But she does it. Why? It's a Madea movie. You gotta let things slide a little bit. So you do. In any case, she also has a little thing where she brings up Jesus Christ in talking about the pageant, talking about the religion of Christianity. Now, I believe that Madea herself is a Christian, an old gospel singing Christian, which is good. But now in a public school, you can't discuss religion with kids, because then the teenagers, the adults in the room, they would say that themselves. This teacher is right, if I'm Christian, I'm right. You know, I align myself with the teacher. But let's say if I'm Muslim or Jewish or something else besides Christian, then that might make me question my own beliefs. And then when I go home, be like, my teacher said that Christianity is right. And then there'll be calls from parents and blah 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 and firing stuff through controversy and things like that. So you can't actually talk about religion like that. Like, I believe in Jesus Christ or the big E monster or something like that. Or Jesus Christ performed these miracles and made Joey over there walk for 5 seconds. You can't do that. I would be very hesitant to even talk about Jesus Christ in a historical sense, because we can't prove on a historical document that he really did exist and did everything that he said that he did, because it's been so gold and translated, and there could be translation errors and this, that, and the other, so we can't actually pinpoint it. So whatever they have in the history books for schools, that's what you would teach anyway. And then there's also the little matter of what Madea does to the little girl in the movie. In the movie too, she actually crucifies her in the same way that Peter Griffin crucifies his wife. With no blood or nails or anything, but still. And instead of crown of thorns, Madea gives her a big wreath to put on her head. And they're cushioning it and stuff. But because Lord knows what would happen if you ever did a crown of thorns with something like, or a cactus or something. That wouldn't be too pleasant for anybody involved. I could just see the kids seeing blood or something and then fainting or puking or both. And it would just be a big mess. Like in the episode of Family Guy where they take that epic challenge. And I don't need to tell you how messy that was. So anyway, the girl is crucified, and when the principal, I guess, and the teacher returned back from the meeting, she's crucified, tied to a pair of wooden posts in the same cross shape as we know today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. She was just trying to teach kids about the religious aspect of Christ and history and that thing, which I'm kind of hesitant on myself. Not because of personal belief, but because of fear for what I would have to do with for parents. Anyway, this little discussion about this was one of the cruxes of one of the main issues in the movie, is that for a public school passage about Christmas and mini Christmas and all of that, how much religion, or if any, do you actually talk about in school, in the pageant? Do you involve Jesus Christ, or do you involve more like a sleigh bells ringing and tingling and all the more modern pop culture versions of the Christmas, tree and that kind of thing too? Or do you do the religious cycle? Well, the teacher wants to have the pageant be more secularized, but yet Madea brings up a point that says that how can you have Christmas without Jesus Christ? And I think that they come up with a happy meaning by the end of the movie about the whole pageantry thing. I think that they have like a happy meaning, like I said, about they have the manger and they have the wise men and etc. etc. But then they also have a band that plays like all the more modern songs like Sleigh Bells Ring and Let Us Know and all that other stuff too. So, so there. Now, they also have this other motion there, in which Madea goes to see goes to an old relative house and her friend and stuff. And I think her name's Eileen in the story, and she's the teacher's mother. Now both of these women are black, so that's kind of important to this. And her husband, I think got married on the down low, is white. Okay? Now, and the parents of the groom are played by Larry the Cable Guy, Kevin and Jimmy from Hocus Pocus. Now, they kind of do like a little bit of role reversal on this argument, because times have changed since old times where a multiracial couple is actually accepted. In fact, I personally would like to get into a relationship with a woman who's not white or hot white. So if anyone is interested, I'm still single for the holidays. Anyway, yeah, that the white family is more accepting of it, and they know about it. Where the black mother doesn't like interracial mingling, which I feel is more the opposite of what really happens. And white people actually do like they're like country people, or rednecks, if you will, like hardworking country people, but they are not racist. They are not KKK material. That'd be more like your Ice Ages, your KKK, your nationalists, and all that. These people are not. That's one thing that I feel this movie does well. It separates the two types of people. But the hardcore, I hate whatever. I hate immigrants. I hate anyone that's not crystal clear white. I don't like people from Scandinavia, Northern Europe or Western Europe, etc. These people are like country people, and what I mean by that is that they like country music. They live on a farm. They don't really understand what a vegetarian is too much. They what's the word? Yeah, they also eat weird foods, like, for example, they eat possum pie. Sounds really yummy, doesn't it? Possum pie. I'm sure they probably wash it down with nice skunk juice. By the way, yum yum. Very delicious. I'm hungry already. Anyway, and thank God Larry the Cable Guy does his stick, but it's much more subdued in this movie. They couldn't sound like it would work if you get called full Larryness, if you will. So anyway, the mother doesn't accept the whole blood like relationship, and Madea like, shut the hell up, just let him be happy. I mean, he obviously cares for her, and obviously she likes chocolate too, and he likes his chocolate, and so does she. She likes white chocolate. I'm sorry, but it kind of bothered me a little bit that black people can refer to each other as chocolate and sweet things and all that. Well, if I do it, I'm seen as being like what's someone that embraces stereotypes about, brown sugar and all this black sugar and all that, and coffee creamer and all that, and women and stuff. That like kind of irks me a little bit. But it's okay when they say it themselves. So anyway, she doesn't like it, and she kept telling her daughter that a long time ago, her father was actually been killed by a white guy. So that's why he has a chip on his shoulder about all white people. Now, obviously, it's wrong to judge an entire race based on the act of one person in that race. But I actually know someone that it's actually like that too, because the father of my cousin's daughter, the drug addict, was actually his real brother was actually beaten up very badly by a black person. So that's why he's racist against black people. So to me that's kind of a stupid argument, because you don't have to hold an entire race in contempt because one of them actually beat up your brother. That's kind of stupid and very half-assed. I mean, if you want to have hatred toward that one individual that beat up your brother, that's fine. If you want to have any contempt for someone that looks like him, that looks like the guy that assaulted your brother, I can't understand that. But to see that everyone in that race is evil and bad and beat you up and rob you and stuff, it's just wrong and racist. And then you got people like the president who make stuff up about any minority group that he chooses to be the flavor of hatred for the day of the week, which is very insulting and very wrong. But anyway, then let's get down. So she told the daughter the whole time that the father was killed by a white guy. Until later on, you find out that I think when Madea died, said that tell the truth, and that being that the father, which is black obviously at this point, end up leaving the mother for a white girl, for a white woman, and that's why the mother hates or white people. Uh, that's kind of a sloppy thing to hate all white people because your man loved you for a white woman. That's kind of stupid. You could see if he loved her, if this woman had all blondes or redheads, if the ministry woman was looked like that. But see, white woman is kind of heartless and wrong, and kind of close-minded too. So after a little bit of tussling, she ends up going outside and stayed in the corner, freezing to death until she helps out a white guy. I think that it's implies that there was a conflict between that white guy and the husband of her daughter or something or other. I can't remember what until the guy ends up smacking the guy that was just rescued, and the mother ended up seeing the irreverent way to begrudgingly said, "Yes, I accept your marriage union or whatever." He said, and then they had the pageant there, and it's really quite touching, more in depth anyway from a Madea movie because they address religion in public schools as well as the they clarify the racist people with the Howard country Republicans. And it's funny because another funny joke that they say is Larry's about to say about did you ever hear the joke about the two black guys that meet up with a priest in a bar, and then before we can finish it up, Madea says, did you ever hear about the white guy who tried to tell him the joke about the two black guys meeting up with the priest in a bar that was shot by a crazy black woman? I find that very funny. And yet, she told me myself because the first movie with Madea in it was based on a play called Diary of a Mad Black Woman. So yeah, that's very funny. Anyway, I find Madea quite interested as the character goes because she's set in her ways, she's religious, and they deal with family issues and stuff because there are people out there that are, as they are portrayed in movies here, like violent, very annoying, very loud, very fun-loving, some of them. So you do have some truth to it. Yeah, everyone's all happy and gay at the end of the pageant, and it's really nice little happy medium where they have the modern band with the Jesus stuff. You know, the manger and the animals and the three rock python and all that. So it's just pretty cool. It's also nice to see the white people are more accepting the interracial marriage than the black person being stubborn. Also, one thing I noticed that when two older women are arguing and stuff, they tend to dig on each other, and that's the only that kind of thing is acceptable. Because I were to dig on an older woman, I would be seeing a monster. Or my dad were to talk to an old woman like that, he would be seeing an asshole. But because two women can do it, that's the natural feeling to do it. For example, when my mother, Marie, was talking to my to my aunt, another Maria. It was because Maria's daughter, she wanted to get married to my cousin, the guy that looks like Tyler Perry, and he's obviously a black guy. So my mother would tell Maria, let them get married. You know, they're fine. They're in love. The guy's good. He did a good job and everything. And then Maria was saying that now we'll need to think about it and stuff. And my mother would say, they're gonna do it whether you like it or not. You don't need your approval to still sneak away and do stuff with each other without your consent. So just swallow your pride and just deal with it. And that set Maria up for good about that. So, very good job. You shut me, Maria. Something that's very hard to do because she's one of the people who, when she gets on, she doesn't let up. Except for my mother. My mother's the only thing I can talk to her that way. And I miss that hurt. Anyway, yeah. That's enough about my life story about my family and extended Maria's. So, thank you for watching my video about Madea Christmas. I feel like a very Merry Christmas. Got the idea for the name from Madea Christmas. And I did this for the holiday season on December 2025. And as like you did in most of the other Madea movies, a happy face seal of approval because it's funny. It's a holiday movie, and she does wear a Santa outfit on in the beginning of the movie at least. Anyway, I find that very entertaining, very funny, and just good background noise for watching a movie or playing a game or something. So, if you like what you see here and you want to see more of my channel and such, you know, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Or if you want, you can always contact me for future information about my future videos and such, or just to say hi. You can always call me or text me at 631-707-3707. Or if you want, you can reach me on my, you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer, call that at PNelsonPro. Also, my email address is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, as all you guys and girls like the Madea movies, Tyler Perry is a gem. Although I do like it when he does other things besides that one role. I wonder if at this point he's worn the Madea get up so much that he acted like it now. You know, with the heels and with the dress and stuff. He might actually be a good rival for my own father, dressing up like a woman. Anyway, I enjoyed this movie. I recommend it to you guys. Let me know if you guys have any more Madea type things you want me to watch, or my name for review of Madea property. Anyway, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, and just in general, happy holidays. Peace out. happy brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video, all you girls and guys in Interland. Ciao, ciao, sayonara, and be the same.